Good afternoon, welcome to another video with a walk with Coffee Neil. So today I'm in Sunderland City Centre and I'm going to have a walk round and see what it's got on offer. First thing I've come to is the Empire, which is a theatre. Pretty terrific building that, isn't it? Let's see what that looks like lit up later on tonight. So here you've got a venue called the Fire Station, which is a music venue. It's got some pretty good things coming up, so it'd be nice to check that out at some point if I'm ever back up here. Also, that looks like quite a cool bar. You can see a few people outside. Steps. This is going to be a common feature. Walking up lots and lots of steps. What I'm going to do is try and find the steepest steps I can find on one of these walks, see how many it is, see if I can survive getting to the top of it. This is cool, quite like this little church. I love church buildings. I've just come and got into this little square, which is pretty cool. As I'm looking round, I don't know if you can see down there, you can sort of see the Stadium of Light at the top of it. But what really impresses me over here is this building here. Really love that. And then that's the view from the other side. You'll see in my videos, you'll see a lot of quirky little things in town and city centres, villages, etc. of things like this, because I just love little things like this, what make things a little bit quirky, and it's really nice, and it's probably got something to do with history as well. There we are. Just now walking the high street of Sunderland. There's quite a few shops here and a couple of shopping centres, so you know there's plenty for people to look around. Here's another cool building I've found, which Sunderland have got a lot of these cool buildings with these nice little clocks. Now that's a bit of a jazzy doorway. So I'm walking down to a little place called Pop Rex, which is owned by Frankie and the Heartstrings. It is a little music venue, but also a cafe that opens between 9 AM and 3 PM during the day. Unfortunately for Frankie and the Heartstrings, a great Sunderland band, the drummer Dave Harper died in 2021. And here I am at Pop Rex. Very, very good venue it is. Just some of the gigs you can see. Here's my coffee, white Americano, Pop Rex. So I've just been in Pop Rex and Sonny's Coffee and Kitchen. So obviously the music venue is not open because it's in the day. I didn't ask if I could have a look round. It does look pretty good from the pictures. The reason I didn't ask is because one day I actually hope that I can come here and actually check a gig out there. So just when you come out of Pop Rex, there's this picture of Faye Fitaro. She was a singer-songwriter. I found this out yesterday, and she passed away sadly. It's really good of Sunderland Council to allow this picture to be put on here. I believe she had a long-term illness and she unfortunately didn't survive before she could afford the treatment, which is really sad. So I've just googled Faye Fitaro, and she was only 21 when she passed away. She had a long suffering battle with cancer. That's really sad, you know. And I've heard a little bit of her music yesterday, and I think it's really good. And hopefully you can still find that on all the links. So it's worth keeping the memory alive and checking her out and all that. But it's a sad story, it really is. And it just shows you how precious life is. So just the final thing on Faye Fitaro. I have just had a look on Spotify and her music is there, so please go and check it out. Look at this, I really like this building for a post office. And that's from the other angle of it. I've come to the other side of this post office building, and when you look across down there, look how big it is. Really like this area too. So there's a lot of these bars around here, like this, which have that quite quirky side to them. And another one, look. So apparently, this is a microbar, which, looking at the building, is the biggest microbar I've ever seen. And another quirky little bar. You've got here is Sunnyside Leisure, which gives you a cinema, it gives you dining places to go to, such as Frankie and Benny's and Nando's, and there's also a place called MFA Bowl, the bowling alley. So, like I said before, there's quite a lot to do in Sunderland. Yeah, I agree with that. You should bin your gum as well. It'd be nice if they could do something with the building like that, rather than just leave it standing empty. There you have another fantastic looking building. Not sure what it is, but I really like the building. Also in the centre you have St Mary's Catholic Church here as well, which is a fantastic building. A little bit more footage of the city centre. I know there's all scaffolding around there, but at the same time it's probably getting done up to be something, so that can only be positive. So this is the Winter Gardens and Museum, so we'll check this out. Also, what you find in the town centre is the Winter Garden and Museum. I'm going to walk to the top, to the rooftop now to see what it's like. So I'm on the rooftop, so I'm just going to show you around a little bit. You can see there's some water running down. Nice. You can't actually see that much out of the windows. A lot of it's blocked off. But it's still nice and it's free entry to get in, so it's still a really good place to come and check out. Although looking at that, you're meant to really look at this part of it. So here's the water sculpture. That'd look alright for a Christmas tree really, wouldn't it? So I'm back downstairs and having a walk around the Winter Garden, as we see. Nice. Have a scroll down here. See what? Somebody just walked past me with some popcorn, and it just reminds me of the cinema. There's a little footbridge. As you know, I'm a fan of these little footbridges. There you go. Broken eggshell. Do really like this part too. And another footbridge. Quite nice. I've just been up there where you can see that person. And here we are. Some fish around. It's really good in here. I really like it. Should go without saying really. And a third little footbridge. And there's a library there as well. Some interesting things you see in here. Now that looks a bit creepy, but really good. It's really cool, I really like that. So we'll walk around here and see what is up here. Really good that you can come in here and it's free entry and you just walk around. Again, there's a lot of like little videos and stuff giving you the history of Sunderland and everything it stands for, but this is pretty spectacular, you know what I mean? Well, what I didn't notice were these flags up here. If you're a fan of boats. So if you're a fan of boats, you will not be disappointed in here. Secrets of the past. Really impressed with this place. Really impressed. To say it's free entry as well is magnificent. And a little gift shop also in here, which is pretty cool. So I've come into a place called Mowbray Gardens, and it's quite scenic around here. It's quite nice, it's quite peaceful, it's very well looked after, and it's free entry to get in as well. What I'll do, I'll just give you a little overview of it. I'll have a quick spin round with a camera. So I just come across this, we're just going to zoom in for you. So between 1914 and 1918. So what it says here, as I zoom in, tribute to our glorious dead. As you can see as well, the pop is on there. But I'll walk you around here. So there it is. So it's a lot of history about the wars, what's happened throughout, a lot of different countries, and a lot of pain for a lot of families. But it's good that we've got these memories and we are lucky of where we are today. Obviously, I know as I'm going round, you see some are quite far back and some not so much. But it is important that these things are remembered. Now, I don't know that much about history, but I do appreciate like trying to find out as much as possible about things, and I understand that we owe a lot of people a lot of things through what they fought for. You know, little benches like this are very unique and are really good points of this park. Yeah, there's quite a lot in here. There's a lot of things like this which I'll show you around. I'm very impressed with how well looked after it is as well. It's always got to put the little footbridge in. Again, cool little quirky thing. And then when you look down path, that's pretty cool as well. And look at that little view. Here we are, another little bridge. So I'm quite impressed with this little place. I quite like it. Some nice flower beds in here too. Also a little bandstand in the middle of the park. Said many times before, I just love places what have water features. So one of the things you do have to watch out for here in Sunderland is the amount of bikes what go on the pavement. I nearly saw a guy hit a pram earlier, which he should have really been looking. I've nearly been hit a couple of times. A couple of times it's been my own fault, a couple of times it's definitely been their fault, but they don't like giving way, unfortunately. See, I've had a walk around Sunderland City Centre today. Again, everybody's been friendly, it's been a really nice place to come. This park, the museum, I couldn't say enough good things about it. I'd recommend coming up here if you've got a chance. I think it's an underrated city, to be honest. It's the outside of the library, that's a great building. Shame it's fenced off. So, as I'm walking back to the hotel at the moment, I am going to come back out later and see what it's like all lit up. But so far in the daytime, I've not got enough good things to say about this place. I really like it, and I'm also on about 23,000 steps at the moment, so if we can push for about 30,000 later tonight, that would be great. So I've decided to come back out now as the sun's gone down and it's starting to go dark to see what the city of Sunderland's looking like. My aim's to get to 30,000 steps and about 25,000 on, so hell of a walk round, see what's to offer. And I will be honest, I have no idea what's going off with my hair. I'd not walked this far up earlier either, So this, I believe, is called the West Park Church. It's another great historic looking building. And I've come to a place called Stockton Church, another great historic building. And I'm glad I've walked this far. I am going to walk back into the town centre now. So look, that says City Centre train station, so I'm going to head that way, which isn't the way I came. So what you'll probably be saying to me, once you've watched a few videos, is this isn't a walk with Coffee Neil, this is getting lost with Neil. And why do I get lost? Is because I never map anything out. I just walk and see where I end up. I do think it's a little bit more spontaneous that way though. So we have the Temple Chambers. It's another quite fascinating building. That's pretty cool. So many churches here, so I don't know what this one's called, but there's one here. And there's another one down there, which I will check that out actually. I'll walk down a little bit even though it's the opposite direction. So again, I can't actually find out what this church is called, but again, it's a pretty sweet building. Well, the gates are locked, but looking across at the back of this church, I don't know what's called. This is the backyard of it, which is pretty sweet. I'm not sure if that's somebody's house or not, but that again, another great building. Glad I walked down here. So I did walk down there. I weren't planning on doing that, but I decided I'd give it a go anyway. Walk up. One thing I have noticed about here is there's a lot of police presence knocking about, but most of the police cars look like they're sort of going away from the town centre rather than in it. Back here at Mowbray Park here, so I sort of know where I am. But I'm not going to walk in just in case gates get locked. I don't fancy being locked in here for night. What I'm hoping is when I get to the bottom of this hill that I end up in the town centre. I'm not entirely sure if that is right, but I'm going to follow it anyway and see if it is. And I'm back here, so I actually do know where I am now. One thing I do like about Sunderland though is, as I'm walking across, I haven't seen any homeless people here in the city centre, which when you go across multiple cities and towns across the country, you always see that, and it's a large problem. So well done to them for, you know, getting on top of that, and hopefully those people's owned in maybe hostels or got just a roof over their head or something and getting fed. I know I've walked a little bit further out of town here, but I just wanted to see what this looked like lit up. I quite like it, to be honest, so I'm glad I walked down here. It's not too far from town, just 2 minutes away really. So across there I didn't notice that's the actual city hall. Looks very different to a normal city hall. That does look pretty cool though, lit up, I must admit. So I did say I'd come back and film this when it were all lit up, so I'm pretty glad I did, because it does look really good on there. The city's quite thriving. And when you come across on the pub on there, I'm just going to move it up slightly. You can see that clock on top of there. I didn't notice that in the actual daylight. It sort of stood out dark. But I'm glad I came up and filmed this anyway. So I walked from the city centre down to here, which is Pallian Retail Park. I wanted to get over to that bridge there. If I zoom in, look, that looks quite close. When I zoom back out, you know, it just keeps getting further and further away. It looked quite close about 20 minutes ago, and it just keeps getting further away, so I'm going to give up and walk back to the hotel now. Stadium lights over there, so that's where I'll be heading tomorrow. Looks nice lit up. It's a nice ground actually. Just don't really like where we sit up in the top. So I'm just walking back to the hotel now. Got quite windy, got a bit chilly, but I'm about 5 minutes away, so I've really enjoyed my day in Sunderland. I've been walking for 12 hours almost. Obviously little breaks in between that, but I'm really glad I made the decision to come up here and check the city out. Got a few meals from that takeaway over there. It's very cheap and it's very good quality as well. So if you're ever up here, it's round corner from your inn. Very nice. Pizza and chips, £7.70. So I'm now back to the hotel, and I have done over 36,000 steps today, so I'm pretty proud of myself for doing that. But my feet will be sore in the morning, but I'll worry about that tomorrow. So that's good night from me, and enjoy watching the video.